holy crap, it's like October already. That's crazy. What is going on, guys? My name is Dustin. Welcome back to the channel, and it is October 1st. Normally I get this video out way sooner, but just haven't had the time. Work, baby, adulting, there just hasn't been time. But we're going to go over the monthly pickups for the month of September. There's not really a lot here, but I did get some really cool stuff, and we're going to go ahead and go through it. First one up here, this was a gift from Hipster, the awesome Hipster, one of my longtime supporters back when I streamed on Twitch, and somebody who became just a really good friend. And she had recommended this movie to me multiple times. She's talked about this movie to me multiple times, and I just kept forgetting about it. So I added it to my wish list because I have like an Amazon wish list where I go through and like add things that I really want, and then when I get them, I I go on there and buy them. It's just an easy way to keep track of, for me to keep track of movies that I really want to pick up. So I added this, and she just went on and bought it. I had no idea this showed up unexpectedly, and that is Planet Terror on Blu-ray. She said this movie is awesome, and I've never heard of it. I've never seen it, but judging by the cover and the fact that this lady has a machine gun for a leg, it's probably going to be pretty sweet. Now, I have not had the chance to sit and watch this yet, but it has 2 discs, which is really cool. I have not had the chance to watch it, but I do plan on watching it soon. I've been watching a lot of my Vinegar Syndrome movies, which you will see here in a minute. But there we go, Planet Terror, 2-disc. Grindhouse presents Robert Rodriguez Planet Terror, an instant classic. Yeah, 2-disc special edition. Disc 1 has the extended and unrated cut, and then a feature commentary. Disc 2 has a 10-minute film school, the badass babes and tough guys of Planet Terror, casting reel, sickos, bullets, and explosions, the stunts of Planet Terror, the friend, the doctor, and the real estate agent. So really excited to dive into this and actually give this a watch. Next up, Walmart has been doing these line of slipcovers you guys watched last month where they had like the cool retro ones, but every time or close to spooky season they do like horror ones. And this was one of the ones that I wanted to pick up. I only got 2. I picked up the Candyman one you guys saw last month, but we also got here Texas Chainsaw. This is the one from, when this came out, 2012. Yeah, the one that like happens 40 years later. It's like the girl, like the descendant from the first one. Yeah, I don't know. This has the standard and 3D version on 1 disc. I don't have a 3D TV, so, or nor do I have like 3D glasses laying around, so I just watched the standard version. It comes with a digital code and everything. But this movie's pretty fun. It has Trey songs in it. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. It's an okay movie. It's also kind of like cringy, but I love the first one, and I remember watching this one before in the past, and I don't know, it just kind of has like a little special place in my heart. So there we go, Texas Chainsaw. Next up, a movie that my wife and I really enjoyed, and one we were really looking forward to ever since we saw the commercial. I believe back on one of the Super Bowls there was a preview for it, and that is No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. And I must say, this kind of went back to like that old style comedy, where it kind of really pushed the limit on what was okay and what was not. Obviously, back in like the early 2000s and things like that, you could say things in movies that you can't say now because of cancel culture, which I just think is stupid. It's a movie. Comedy is subjective. If it is something that hurts your feelings, you probably shouldn't be watching it, and you don't need to go on the internet and post about it and try to cancel people because it's literally just a movie. I can rant about that forever. You know what I mean? If you go back to like movies like, Zack and Miri and Superbad, stuff like that. They cannot make comedy movies like that now because people just get way too butthurt. But this was one that kind of had that old 2000s comedy feel to it, and it was funny. And there's a scene with her on the beach. If you have not watched it, and you do, I was shocked that happened. But good for her. my wife and I are both completely caught off guard. But this was a really funny movie, and we really enjoyed it. Next up, Walmart and Lionsgate partnered up and released a series of Steelbooks that were Walmart exclusives. I want to say there was 4 of them. There was the Saw collection, the Firefly trilogy for Rob Zombie. The Saw collection, the Firefly trilogy, the Leprechaun movies, and the Blair Witch movies. There might have been those 4. I got 2 because I didn't need the other ones. I have all the Saw movies, and I didn't get the Rob Zombie one because I don't need 2 copies of 3 from Hell. I already have the Steelbook. The other 2 I can just buy separately and have. But the first one that I picked up, and one that I'm really happy to have, is The Blair Witch and the Blair Witch Project. These movies are weird. There's like... These movies do a really good job of just freaking you out. Because you never see... You know, they're like found footage horror movies. You never see what these people are seeing. Like, what's causing them to, like, go crazy. It never shows, like, a monster or anything like that. But it's just one of those movies that's just shot in a way that it's just... They're unsettling. I remember the Blair Witch Project more than Blair Witch. But obviously this is a 2-disc edition, and this Steelbook is really, really nice. They're Blu-rays. There was also the Rob Zombie Halloween, the 2-movie Steelbook, which I didn't get for another reason you will see here in a second. But this also came with the digital codes and everything. But here we go. Blair Witch Project. These movies were just... They're fun, and I can't wait to revisit them. Like I said, I know more about the Blair Witch Project than I do about Blair Witch, so I'm going to be checking these out. And then one that I am super excited to own in my collection, and I'm really glad that these are available to get because I love these movies. They are so bad, but they are so good in the best ways, and that is the Leprechaun collection. This is all 8 movies on one Steelbook, and the artwork is incredible. Warwick Davis plays the Leprechaun. In the very first movie, there's a very young Jennifer Aniston in it, which is kind of crazy. But these come, you know, with the digital code as well. The only thing that really kind of bugs me about the way Lionsgate did it are there's 2 movies on every disc, which is whatever, but they're stacked on top of each other. So, like, you have Leprechaun 1 and Leprechaun 2, then Leprechaun 3 and Leprechaun 4. So they're all stacked on one another. But we have the digital code, so I guess if you didn't want to take the discs out and do that, you could just watch the digital versions. But the Leprechaun collection. My favorite ones, my favorite 2, are the Leprechaun in the Hood movies. They're just so good. They're so good. And the first one is it's just so much fun. I watched the first one, and I have such a love for these movies, and I don't know what it is, but they're super fun. I've never seen Leprechaun Origins, but I have seen the other ones. It's most of the other ones. I haven't seen them all, but most of them. But yeah, these movies are an absolute ton of fun. Next up, another comedy that I really liked. My wife was okay with it, but I really liked it. That was Joyride. This one is another one that really kind of like pushed the envelope again, you know, for modern comedies. It really kind of, again, like No Hard Feelings, had that early 2000s comedy feel just because of some of the things they said and some of the things you see and just the subject matter overall. Super fun movie. I really liked it. I laughed really hard. Next up, we have an import all the way from the land down under in Australia, and that is from Viavision. We have Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 4-disc collection. This is the Ultimate Edition 4-disc set. It includes the theatrical and unrated director's cuts of both movies, which I really think is cool. That's why I opted for this set over the Steelbook. The Steelbook set was like $40 at Walmart, and you get the theatrical cuts of both movies. But if you buy this one, which is cheaper to import than buying the Steelbook, you get both movies. You get the special features disc. I'm trying to think. And then you there's a whole disc, literally about a 4.5-hour documentary that Rob Zombie made in making these movies. So you have the theatrical cuts on one disc right here. Then you have the Halloween 2 unrated director's cut. And then the bonus disc, Halloween, or Michael Lives, the 4.5-hour documentary. And then you have the Halloween 1 unrated director's cut. So you really do get a lot. And I think for the price, like I said, and this was even on sale, it was half the price of the Steelbook to have shipped from Australia to the US. And this slip box is really, really nice. To be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, but I still appreciate the Halloween franchise as a whole. And I remember watching the 2007, his version of it. But I don't know. There's just something about the other ones that I just love more. But I don't hate these movies as much as other people do. There are people that absolutely trash and slam these movies. They're not the greatest. But, again, having an appreciation for the franchise and it being my favorite franchise, I do like these movies more than most people. I don't love them, but I have an appreciation. And then, last but not least, I have 3 titles here from Vinegar Syndrome. They had a warehouse sale, and all these movies were dirt cheap. Right up here, we have Beware, Children at Play. This is a movie about killer children, and this movie has a lot of very crazy kills, and it's really it's super creative. A little boring in some parts to get through. I'm currently still watching this. I have about a half hour left. It's just really hard when you have a newborn baby to find time to sit and watch these movies while trying to help out with the baby and my wife. And if you hear my daughter talking in the background, I apologize, but there we go. It says Beware, Children at Play. Pretty fun movie so far. Like I said, boring in some parts, but Vinegar Syndrome with the killer artwork as always. Next up, one that I really enjoyed, and that is Auntie Lee's Meat Pies. I bought this solely based on the cover, and there's a butt on the back, if you like that. This is a dark comedy about cannibalism done tastefully. That is their tagline. It was just really fun. Again, another really creative movie. This is from 1992. And it was a lot of fun. It even has Mr. Miyagi in it, which is kind of crazy. This actually has a pretty decent cast. So, yeah, this one was fun. Funny in some parts, pretty wild in some parts. It was a movie that was all over the place. But fun. And then last but not least from Vinegar Syndrome, this set is really, really cool. And I bought this because usually Vinegar Syndrome puts out really obscure movies that are just really over the top and just really crazy, movies that aren't for everybody. And you think with a title like Her Smell, this movie would be really kind of off the wall, over the top, just weird shit. And this movie was not at all like that. This movie follows Becky, and she is in a grunge band in the 90s with 2 other females, so it's an all-female band. And, she went from selling out stadiums and, living the typical rock star life, which involved, drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. And she kind of just had this big fall from grace, and she had to battle addiction and sobriety while still trying to be a mother, but yet maintain her music career. And it was just a really good story. And this packaging is just really, really cool. The band was called Something She in the movie. I highly recommend this. This was one that it just really surprised me. And Elizabeth Moss plays Becky. She's the main character. This movie was not at all what I expected it to be, but I really, really enjoyed it. It's kind of, endearing really towards the end, and the way everything kind of works out and how she was able to kind of really change her life around. But that's all I'm going to say. If you guys want to pick this up, definitely watch it or find a way to watch it, because this one was a pretty decent movie, and I really think that a lot of people can get behind this. It was not at all what I expected it to be, and I'm okay with that. But guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this month. There was no books, nothing crazy, collectible-wise, just this. October's going to be a great month. It is spooky season. It's my birthday month. I'm so excited. So I cannot wait to show you guys what I get this month. And I want to do a video hopefully soon, kind of going over my 31 days of Halloween. It's already a little too late to film it. You know, but I can still kind of talk about it. But I don't know. That might be a thing in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel. As always, I'll see you later in another video. Bye-bye.